It's a great day for hockey here in Bloomington, Minnesota as we get underway with the final pool game of the U15 Western States Invitational. My name is Eric Zamora with the play-by-play, and My Edge in white uniforms with red numerals going from left to right take on their opponents in this game, True North, in the gray uniforms with red numerals and white trim going from right to left. What's at stake for these two teams is a trip to the U15 championship game, and right away it is True North getting on the board. A nice play behind the cage and a coyly, deftly left puck just outside on the side of the cage. And that took 31 seconds. True North gets on the board first before we've really even had time to set the stage. The two teams playing 3 17-minute periods. And in order to keep the clock running and the game's at a good pace, no timeouts here in pool play. Back action the other end, backhanded opportunity, and we're going to have a whistle here with True North and the My Edge squad both having identical records of 1-1. My Edge lost to Blue Army by a score of 10-3. And then right back at it, and True North able to get that one to trickle through, and it's a 2-0 lead. Scoring for True North, Dawson McCann. Moments after getting on the board was Ben Spanier. And this one quickly going the way of True North. .118 time of the goal for Spanier and McCann. Those are their first goals of the tournament. Also involved on that first goal, Cameron Bollinger, his second point of the tournament, both assists. So as I was trying to get to, and we'll hold and see if we're able to squeeze this in, but My Edge losing to Blue Army 10-3 and defeating Sioux Falls Power by a score of 9-5. Rubbed out on the play. The My Edge squad having scored 12 goals but given up 15. True North defeated Sioux Falls Power 4-1 but fell to Blue Army by a score of 6-1. It is my understanding, and I will try to get confirmation of this, that with the goal differential of -2 for True North, -3 for My Edge, well, we'll hold on to that thought as True North gets back on the board. Matt Peters coming up with one from high atop the right circle. Rips one through traffic, and that slips over the shoulder of Matt Schobhorster. And this goal coming 2 minutes and 58 seconds into the period. And they're going to call it an unassisted tally for Peters. A scramble out front, and now we are going to have a whistle and some stoppage But at this point, I believe that True North needs just a draw in order to advance to the championship game. Well, they're putting themselves in a much better position than that. We're going to have offsetting minors holding the initial call, it looks like, for True North. In the box is Zach Stocker, Noah Bottom for My Edge. Saw My Edge's victory over Sioux Falls Power 9-5 here not too long ago. Back in the and that one goes off the crossbar right where it meets the goalpost. This could have been 4-0 by a matter of a fraction of an inch. That's not something you see very often. Offsetting holding penalties. Usually, if you've got offsetting penalties and you see a holding call, one of them is going to be called for something else, a rough, a slash, perhaps a cross-check in retaliation. It's not too often. Well, coming in and firing one upstairs off the mark is Marcus Kaufman. Kaufman with a couple of goals in that 9-5 victory. It was a roller coaster of a game. In that game in which the My Edge squad was wearing the exact same jerseys, they're just reversible. It was Kaufman striking twice. The first two goals, they built a 5-1 lead. Sioux Falls came all the way back to tied at 5 in the third period, and then 4 unanswered, and just missing with a yawning net in front of him was Ashton Collings. Collings looking for his second goal of the tournament, and on the backhand didn't miss by much. However, as this is swept out by Steffen, and we're going to have a penalty on the way. And so True North sending a man to the box. This is Connor McLaughlin. Held and blocked away. Dumped in, and True North goes after it. Rubbed out on the play. And True North back into the offensive zone where they have been setting up shop as of late. Kept in the zone. Peters, the goal scorer, backed up. They were able to get a sharp angle shot, then looked like was setting up for a wraparound attempt. Good defense there by the squad in white, My Edge. And there have been some absolute snipe shots so far. And a penalty upcoming. I believe we're going to have an elbowing call here. Instead, they'll call it cross-checking. 6 one way, half a dozen the other. It's the same result. 33 seconds left on the penalty that was being served by McLaughlin. And joining him in the box is Jack Arnold. If there's one thing that this True North squad with a 3-0 lead early didn't want to do, and that's get in penalty issues as it opens the door for My Edge. Trying to get back on the sheet. And cutting down the angle. Nice play by the netminder, sliding over and throwing his body out front. They'll feed it from right to left. Snapping a low shot, and the goaltender will get a whistle. And I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure if that was the official blowing the play dead or losing sight of the puck, and True North getting a little bit of a break with an early whistle. Bollinger on the face-off, waiting out of the box. They now skate one man down as McLaughlin heads immediately into the fray. A drive, that's blocked before it could get through, sweeping at it. And now McLaughlin, along with Bollinger, they'll try to dump that in. And to this point, Kyle Abrahamson hasn't been overly tested, but he has had a couple of good looks that he was able to steer aside. Offside the call. We'll have the face-off coming outside the defensive zone for My Edge. You have to give them credit. Giving up 3 goals in the opening 3 minutes of play, they've settled in nicely. What they're going to need to do is eventually start generating some more offensive chances. However, to this point, the most important point is to stop the bleeding. Tracking it down, looking to move it. Chipped ahead. Brought into the offensive zone, looking for a toe drag. Can't get it over. Trying to feed the pass across. And body thrown there. Moved forward into the offensive zone. The offering by Nolan Nanau hits the shaft of an opponent's stick and goes into the corner harmlessly. Into the corner it goes and sent up, and that somehow trickles through. It's a 2-on-1 possibility for My Edge into the offensive zone. Looking to feed it over, backhand, and somehow kept out. That was fought off with the glove side, and we're going to have an offensive zone penalty, and that's a bad one to take. Justin Boyd will be called for interference, but the netminder, Abrahamson, played that down with his left arm, his glove down like a blocker, but there was, well, I won't say no padding there, but certainly not as much as if he'd punched that away with his blocker. And into the box, Boyd goes with 7:15 left here in the opening period. His squad already down 3-0. They can ill afford to give up another. Shot through traffic, kicked out. Schoporster able to fight that off into the corner and get a clearance. Stolen away. Now coming in shorthanded, trying to make a man miss is Oland. Oland slips around some coverage from tight quarters, unable to get that shot off. Left there for a moment, turned over on the backhand, trying to get it to the forehand was Peters. Working inside with Stocker. Peters. And they'll reset as they touch up. Peters dangles, now try to bounce it out front and in, and somehow it won't go. It looked like Peters was going to behind the goal line, try to bank it in off the netminder. Then it was sitting there for a moment. Peters still open in the slot, and finally My Edge able to contain that. And we've got 3/4 of the penalty expired. A shot missing on the short side. Skylar Seckerson off the mark, withstanding some pressure is Sender, and he's looking to get it out of the zone, not quite. Bouncing off bodies, Peters able to keep it in the zone. It's left there for a moment, stepping up and firing a shot on that was tipped beautifully. Arnold set the table, Bullinger tipped it, and it just went off the post. And out of the box, and now full strength, the netminder, Abrahamson, plays it off the half wall, kept in the zone, however. And that wasn't the player coming free, as we've got some action after the whistle is blown. That wasn't the player out of the box being sprung. It was actually the player had come all the way across and changed, and the player coming off the bench then behind the play and nearly had a breakaway. And once again, it will be My Edge short-handed as Luke Steffen heads to the sin bin. Kicked all the way back to the netminder. He tries to make a handoff there with his defensive partner, or to his defenseman. And that one just goes over and into the bench of True North. Big collision there. Held in at the point and firing a shot on. And the netminder able to trap that in his body and hold on for the whistle. 4:34 left to go in our first period. 1:23 left on the man advantage for True North. No longer cross-checking the call. That will have us skating 4-on-4 for the next 83 seconds, and then an abbreviated power play opportunity for My Edge. Sawyer Seidel on the draw, and they get it back to him using a pitching wedge as they chip that up and over everyone else. And then Seidel taken down by Spanier. He had the first goal just 31 seconds into this contest. Seidel slaloms through, and he's got some speed into the offensive zone, waiting, throwing towards the net, backed up, and they go just over the crossbar. There was a sliver of an opening on the short side, high where Grandma keeps the cookies, and that one just sailed a little too far north. A collision at center ice. Taking the worst of it was McLaughlin, though not too bad of a collision. Still fighting, jamming at it, poking at it, prodding at it, and finally we will have a whistle. Looks like the net popped off. Out of the box is Steffen. And he's looking to get involved offensively right away. They try the old home run pass. And the recipient was expecting a zig. Instead, he got a zag. So we will have icing the call. That'll bring the puck back down into the My Edge end and off the crossbar. Or excuse me, off the post. That one stays out. Going behind the cage, waiting to look for something out front. Couldn't find a passing lane to anybody open. And we're going to have a penalty. The players getting frustrated, but don't seem to be learning from how this game is going to be called. The official gives his explanation of the cross-checking infraction. From the left side, defensively, My Edge trying to get out of the zone. A save, but then the rebound goes right to True North's Matt Peters, and he's not going to miss from there. Peters with his second goal. And their back-to-back tallies, this one on the man advantage. 14:59 time of the goal. And it's 4-0. True North in command. Stepping up.
Scoring for True North is number 47, Matt Peters. Assist goes to number 5, Jack Arnold. And number 82, Connor McLeod.
So Arnold with that drive. And they're going to wave it off. Played with a high stick, says the official emphatically and immediately. 1:25 left to go in period number 1. It looked like My Edge had broken through and gotten some momentum going. And that will bring the puck all the way down. Going back to that last goal by Peters, Arnold with the drive from the left point, and not much that the netminder can do. He made the initial save and has to hope that his teammates can get to it first or at least tie up their opposition. But Peters comes through in a big way, thrown towards the net and steered into the corner. Looking for an outlet, they'll poke it ahead. Long pass, can't connect. Feathered across. Low shot, following it up, going upstairs. And scoring over the right shoulder of the netminder, Cameron Bullinger. That is his first goal in this tournament, and it has been an exclamation point here in period number 1. 5-0, all True North. 16:01 time of the goal, just a minute and 2 seconds apart from the last score by the team in gray.
Scoring for True North is number 6, Cameron Bullinger. Assist goes to number 10, Zach Stocker. Time of the goal is 58.
Stocker given the lone assist. And when we have an opportunity to catch our breath, we'll certainly bring for you the scoring summary. And conversation going on, and the clock still running here. Interference, the call. And I believe that that's because of the 5-goal differential, regardless of the period. We'll find out here in just a moment, but 5-0, True North on top after 1 period of play. We'll step away from the mic. We'll be back in just a matter of moments with period number 2. Up next, True North leading My Edge 5-0. You're watching the 2019 Western States Invitational on Youth Hockey Hub. All right, let's quickly go over the scoring summary, or as quick as we can. Ben Spanier got things going 31 seconds into the contest as he picked up his first goal, first point of the tournament. Cameron Bollinger with the assist. That was his second in 3 games. Dawson McCann then on the board next. McCann, his first goal, second point in Western States Invitational action. And Arnold called for tripping in the closing seconds of period number 1. Mason Reynolds with the assist on McCann's goal, his first point. And Kyle Abrahamson also getting an assist, his first of the tournament. The goaltender getting on the score sheet. Matt Peters then picked up a goal at the 2:58 mark of period number 1, so less than 3 minutes in, and Peters putting his squad on top by a score of 3-0. Peters would add another, his second goal, 4th point in tournament action. Jack Arnold picking up his first point with the primary assist, and McLaughlin with the secondary assist, and then Bollinger scoring his first goal, 3rd point of the weekend. Zach Stocker has now a stat line of 2-2-4 after the lone assist. Turned over and brought back in by Skylar Seckerson. Again, True North in the gray uniforms, red numerals outlined in white trim going from left to right. The team that falls in this game will play 9 a.m. tomorrow morning over on Rink 2 in the 3rd place 15U championship. In tight, getting a good look, but denied, was John Kramer. Kramer had a couple of goals in the 9-5 victory they had over Sioux Falls. Blocker save by the netminder. He now peers over his left shoulder and slides that way out of the box is True North's Arnold, and we skate 5-on-5. Centering pass, nobody home. Frustrated are the My Edge players trying to keep things together. Somehow able to make a pass through about 2 or 3 people and finding a teammate. And again, we start this period with 17 minutes on the clock. However, until My Edge can pull within 4, we will not have any stoppages this tournament because of the short window with which we've got to get the games in. Everything in pool play here, regardless of what period or how much time is left in the game, once the lead gets to 5, in order to have the clock stopped, it's for the trailing team needing to get back within 5, or I should say within 4 for the stoppage, and we're going to have a penalty here, slashing the call with 13:50 remaining in period number 2. Up next after this, we begin bracket play, and in the U12 division, on the gold side, we've got the semifinal of Great Plains and Team Wisconsin. Great Plains running through their competition 3-0, but over that process outscoring their opponents by a 15-2 score, and their lone game that was close against the Green Bay Junior Gamblers was a shutout victory by a score of 2-0. Turned over and then gloved down. True North into the offensive zone and losing a handle and then taking a check from it. Seckerson recovered, floated in. They'll feed a pass up the right wing wall. Kicked at, and now gathered by Spanier. He'll exit to the right side. Bringing it across is Caleb Alderson. And despite the fact that he was sliding over, this is chipped up and in, and the goal scorer wasn't quite sure. And the score goes to 6-0 on the power play tally. A great save by the netminder on the initial shot as he was sliding over to his right, but still able to kick that out. However, it went right to a True North player, and he was just able to float it up and over the netminder. And like I said, the goal scorer behind the cage looking around for the rebound, and there was none to be had. It's a hat trick for Peters. Alderson with the lone assist on the power play tally, and then Abrahamson at the other end comes up with the stop. For Alderson, it's his first point in 3 games here. For Peterson, he came in with a couple of assists, no goals, and picks up a hat trick here early in period number 2. They'll play it back to the left point, snapping a shot, turning and firing, unable to bang that in off the side of the cage. And again, give credit to Schoperster, as he has been good despite the fact that his team trails 6-0. Just quality chance after quality chance for True North. Couple of snipes, and then some puck luck as well, as we saw in that last goal. Off the mark, and netminder in the butterfly, set again. Spinning, looking to dish, and cycling it low. Thrown out front and then swept away. Into the corner. Penalty on the way. I believe this is going to be tripping. That is indeed the call, as taking a spill there was Marcus Kaufman. And the guilty party for True North is Peter Mulder, the defenseman. Steered to the outside, and sometimes that's all you can do defensively. Can't always break up the play, but if you keep them to the exterior and keep those chances to low percentage plays, .704 left to go in period number 2. 6-0. True North on top, currently on a penalty kill. And Alderson stops on a dime at the red line and dumps it right back in. Gathered behind their own cage. My Edge looking to turn up ice. Fed over, or attempting to get that through, is Collings. Quickly, My Edge brings it out to neutral ice and into the offensive zone, just onside. And thought that was going to be off. Collings gets it over and then in tight, pad save, as Arnold was able to keep that shot low, making it all the more difficult for the netminder. Those are ones where if you can just keep that on the ice, that's as difficult as it gets. Shot from the right point, gloved by the netminder, and he'll hold on with 5:19 remaining in our second period. Into the offensive zone, waiting, handing off, firing in a right pad save by the netminder. Sent out front. And how did that stay out? In tight, in the slot. And somehow able to come up with the stop, Matt Schophorster. Looking to send it around. Lifting it up, knocking it down, staying with it. Big collision there. As getting the worst of it was Bollinger. John Kramer saw him standing on the tracks and let loose. This is stolen away. In tight, trying to go low with the opportunity, but denied was Kramer. Some contact after the play. Knifed out, gloved down, brought across, and then not quite. Chopped down. And True North on top, 6-0, 2:40 left to play. Remember, we will have a much longer break in between periods 2 and 3 than we did 1 and 2, as we will have a resurfacing. So time for you at home to stretch, run to the restroom, maybe make yourself a bite to eat, and then come back for the third period. This is stolen away, played into neutral ice, and now True North into the offensive zone. And at this point in the game, looks like there's a number of players that are more focused on delivering the big hit than they are making the big play. That's stripped away as Mulder wasn't able to get it into the zone. Arnold now with it, exits to the right side, and making a man miss was Alderson. Rolling puck towards the net, rolling no longer as it settles down into the corner. Stepping up and taking a gift as a loose puck was sitting there by Luke Steffen. Down to 50 seconds left in the period, and trying to slip around his opposition was Tyler Heiss. Looking to lay the lumber a little bit there was Grady Gallatin. And now True North into the offensive zone behind the cage and knifed away. 25 seconds left. A collision in the defensive left corner for My Edge. From the point, thrown on, netminder makes the save, rebound, goes behind the net. And My Edge will get it out of the zone, and that is how the period will come to an end. Just one goal in that middle frame, Matt Peters, a power play goal from Caleb Alderson at 5:10 of the second. 6-0. True North on top. We will take a break, and we will be back with the third period. You're watching the 2019 Western States Invitational on Youth Hockey Hub. 17 minutes on the clock, and True North leading comfortably by a score of 6-0. Welcome in. My name's Eric Zamora, bringing you the play-by-play action. Patrick Ilya, our camera operator, engineer, and producer of this Youth Hockey Hub broadcast. And it is the last game of pool play for the U15 division of the 2019 Western States Invitational. The victor of this game will get a redemption game for the championship against Blue Army. That game will take place tomorrow at 10:30 right here on Rink 1, and we will have the broadcast of that here on Youth Hockey Hub. The loser of this game will end up taking on, and there's a bouncing puck twice into the crease and twice harmlessly, as it turns out of it. Will take on Sioux Falls Power in the third place game. That is at 9 o'clock over on Rink 2. A 2-on-2 developing, and not able to come up with the puck, but just separating his opponent from it. That was Mulder knocking it away. Tracking it down. Maida in his own zone. Outlet pass. And slides it ahead. Steffen over to the opposite side. Held onto with 15:10 left to go in our third period. Normally I say left to go in regulation just in case, but if My Edge were able to come back and tie this one up, we would not play any overtime. In pool play, there is none. In the brackets, needing a team to move on, or in this case, a third place winner and a champion, as the net comes off its moorings here, drawing the whistle, then we would play a 3-minute 4-on-4 overtime, a 3-minute 3-on-3 overtime, and then it would go to a 3-man shootout. Sent out front into the crease and swept away. And another difference in pool play and bracket play, your team is allotted a timeout in bracket play. Here in pool play, none afforded. And that will be an offside, as it was dumped in and hit off of the shin guard of Dawson McCann. One back to the red line. Flipped in. And held in at the blue line, thrown towards the netminder and steered into the corner. Turned over. Alderson has that stripped away from him, as Sender got involved. Thrown towards the net, off the mark and into the corner. And that one will go up and over the glass, out of play, into the netting. Getting tangled up there as Alderson throwing his weight around in front of his own bench. And so it's Heiss on the draw, one instead by True North and Ashton Collings. Nearly stripped away, poked at, flipped up, and bodies collide in the corner. True North will come away with it. With time, and this one will go the length of the ice. Icing will be the call with 11:04 left to go here in period number 3. We want to thank all of our sponsors here for the Western States Invitational. That includes Sniper's Edge. You can use the discount code YHH for Youth Hockey Hub, 20% off your next order. SnipersEdgeHockey.com. And Brew Pub Pizza with their Lots of Matza. You can find them online at www.brewpubpizza.com. 6-0, 10.5 minutes left in the contest. And True North on top here in this U15 division game. Again, we play U12, 14, and 15. The U12 and 14 having gold and silver divisions. This the only division of the U15. Also differences in variation in that this is the only level where icing is called on a shorthanded team and checking allowed. Also extending the periods. 17 minutes played here, 15 at the other two levels. From the right circle, snapping a shot, pad save, but the rebound goes right to his teammate. Putting it home is Harper Bentz. It is his second goal of the tournament and 7-0. His squad on top.
Scoring for True North is number 63, Harper Bentz. Assist goes to number 10, Zach Stalker. And number 6.
Stalker taking that initial shot, the save, kicked out into the slot, and Bentz slams it home. Cameron Bollinger with the secondary assist for Bollinger. Came into the game with just a point, has 3 in this one. Bentz, his second goal of the tournament in tight. Netminder makes the save. It's loose out front. And then My Edge getting the clearance they so desperately needed. Offside the call. True North will negate that. Turned over and bodied off. They'll feed it from the right circle, off the mark upstairs. This will be played all the way down, and the netminder will feed that over. Handling it was McLaughlin. Behind the cage, they play with it. 7:33 left to go in the third period. Chopping at it, slowing it down, but it trickles past Luke Steffen. Nice little give and go. Firing the shot and goal, Nolan Nenow from Dawson McCann. Nine minutes, 56 seconds, time of the goal. McCann had the second goal of this game, and now a collision here. Peters with the hat trick, and he will be called for a high sticking here. .620 to go, again on a running clock. And excuse me, that looked like the initial case. No, it on the other side. High sticking is the call to his counterpart. Peters called for cross-checking, which I thought would have been an odd call on Peters. It's Gallatin in the box. One back. Swatted away. And fed ahead. They'll slide it over to the right side. Snapping a shot low. Slipping around one man. And then a second trying to pull it back on his backhand. Unable to. Firing a low shot. Sent over and unable to catch up with that. The intended target was True North Collings. Collision at neutral ice. Everyone seems no worse for the wear. The officials keep their hands down. 8-0. True North on top. Sticked away by Spanier as it was brought into the zone by Jack Olland. And stepping up, laying the lumber was Heiss. Alderson looking to step out of the way. And we're going to have a penalty. Upcoming slashing is the call. They'll cycle it below the goal line in a quick exchange, trying to get it out front and create a scoring opportunity. On the man advantage, True North. Backhand pass behind the back by Bentz. He'll go after it. And had a couple of players there. Not sure which one he was intending to get that to, but it was cut off before it hit Spanier up top. As in the slot, Stocker taking that. Fed to the point, a drive, rebound, and it's poked home. Getting the goal for True North on the man advantage, Nolan Nenow. And we'll call that exactly the 14-minute mark of period number 3. Nenow with the man advantage goal. He's got the last two, his second and third of the tournament. Fed to the right side, right into the glove of the goaltender, and then some pushing and shoving as separation. 2:10 left in this one. The draw will come to the left side of the netminder. 9-0. True North on top comfortably. Brought in by Sender. And he'll be steered to the side. stolen away. Tangled up. And bodies come in late as it's Justin Boyd introducing himself. Informally, of course. 1:20 left to go and hooking the call. So that might be the end of pool play for Noah Bottom, as the penalty will not expire until regulation has come to an end. They'll feed that ahead to the left side. Kramer can't get there in time. Long pass, and just touching it on is Peters. .30 seconds left to go in the period. And True North on the man advantage will feed it ahead. Peters fights off his man. He's got 3 in the contest. Won't have an opportunity there for 4. Thrown towards the net, but offsides, and with 6 seconds left, that will be a final here. 9-0 in the third period. Goals from Harper Bentz, Nolan Nenow, and Nenow again on the power play at 7:28, 9:56, and 14 minutes the time, respectfully. And so the victory improves True North to 2-1 in tournament play. And the loss drops My Edge to 1-2. My Edge will take on the Sioux Falls Power at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning over on Rink 2. Here we'll have the broadcast, and I'll have the call of the U15 championship game at 10:30 Central Time. It will be True North versus Blue Army. Again, for everyone here, Youth Hockey Hub, Patrick Ilya, our camera operator, engineer, and producer, my name's Eric Zamora. A final. True North defeats My Edge 9-0. You've been watching the 2019 Western States Invitational on Youth Hockey Hub.